He's not.
Good evening. Thank you for attending this year's Senior Sports Dinner to honor our class of 2019 athletes. I would like to make a few introductions before I pass along the mic to Mr. Herrica for opening remarks. I would like to welcome Stephen Southwick, our Board of Education President. Our varsity coaches who are in attendance this evening are Nick Trombley, Boys Soccer and Athletic Director, Dana Berry, Volleyball, Scott LaFountain and Justin Sample, Hockey, Sarah Hunter, Cheerleading, Harry McManus, Tennis, Matt Fredette, Golf, and of course me for softball as well. I also would like to acknowledge the Booster Club officers, Vice President Shannon Dusso, Secretary Nikki Malinsky, and Treasurer Sarah Hunter. These ladies have done a great job all year long continuing to grow the Booster Club and what we can offer our student athletes. We are gaining volunteers each year, and we want to thank all parents and students who have helped over the years. Lastly, I would also like to show our gratitude to Julie Rao of JM Rao Photography, as well as Calvin Castine and Hometown Cable and Granny Cam tonight, for capturing countless memories for not only our student athletes are able to cherish, but also our community as well. Please let me introduce our high school principal, Josh Herrica, for some opening remarks.
Thank you, Mrs. McComb. I'd like to thank the athletic department for continuing to invite me to this event tonight. I know that I've got big shoes to fill because typically this is Mr. Dumas, Coach Dumas in this role, and we certainly miss him tonight. Wish him well with everything he has going on in his life, but it's an honor always to be here, and I'm very thankful to continue to support the athletic department and being part of this evening. You know, for you seniors that are here this evening, I would tell you for myself, when I think back to my experiences in high school, obviously some of the most memorable ones that I have are part of being athletic teams. Being a three-sport athlete, the memories and experiences you had with your teammates, the contests that you played in, the wins and losses that you had, the coaches that you played for and participated for, those are some of your most important memories that you're going to have. And I would tell you to obviously cherish those and realize how thankful you should be. I know we've had some great teams that are here tonight. We've had some people that have won sectional championships, and we've had some people that have done a great job in their 4 years in their career. So I would say congratulations to all of you. When you're thinking of those things too, I would tell you to also think about what a big part of your parents' lives these experiences have been for you as well. That for many of you, I'm sure that being part of an athletic team started well before Northeastern Clinton, and it's been a huge and important role in all of your families' lives too. So I think that you should thank your parents and let them know how much it meant to you that you were so supported all these years, because even though this door is closing, you're always going to have those memories as a family, and it's been a really integral role. This is a huge part of our community here at Northeastern Clinton, and I think you all should be very thankful for the role that your parents played in it as well. You know, with that being said, I would tell you that you've all been a very important part, again, of our community here at school. I'm thankful that I'm able to be here this evening, and I wish you all the very best in the future. With that being said, I'm going to hand it back over, I think, to Mrs. McComb or Mr. Trombley, and I think that we're going to start dinner. So I wish you all the very best, and thank you all for being here this evening.
Courtney is going to direct us, and I believe they're going to have us start from here and go that way to eat, and it's dinner time. As they clean up the last few plates, we're going to go ahead and start with our guest speaker, Kayla Carter. She is a graduate of Northeastern Clinton and is attending North Country Community College.
Although many of you probably already know me, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Kayla Carter. I'm a Northeastern Clinton graduate. I was graduated in the class of 2017. I'm currently a RN student at North Country Community College. To no surprise, throughout my high school and college experiences, athletics has made a significant influence on my life and the ability to further develop me into the young student athlete I'm becoming still currently to today. Many would describe me as a decorated athlete with numerous championships and a plethora of awards I've received along the way. However, along with those accomplishments followed their fair share of adversity. I was asked to come here and speak tonight about the impact athletics has had on my life and the success it's brought me along the way as well. But I can't deny that although sports have brought some of the most gratifying moments to my life, it's also been accompanied by some of the most devastating moments in my life as well. Looking back, I remember the regional semifinals game in Glens Falls like it was yesterday. Coming in as an underdog team while scoring my 1,000th career point and managing to win or advance to the regional finals against Canton. I could sit here and rattle off my rewards I received over the years, but anyone can look those up in past newspaper articles and see all the all-state selections, CVAC team awards, and all the other awards and championships that I've been a part of. But what you can't find in those articles are the many obstacles that I've had to face along the way that posed a threat to my success. Entering my sophomore year, I tore my ACL when I was at Northeastern, and I had to undergo a ACL reconstruction, which was followed by yet another ACL reconstruction that I had to do going into my senior year of athletics. This would then result in me being benched for my entire senior year until the last 5 games of the season. These injuries resulted in me losing many scholarships that I received from D1 and D2 programs, and I was pretty devastated after putting all the effort that I put in over the years. 3 years ago, if you asked me where I'd be now, I would have told you I'd be wrapping up my sophomore year at St. Michael's College, going on an athletic scholarship. However, if you asked me the following year where I would have ended up seeing myself, I would have told you that things have drastically changed, and I would have saw myself going to a baby Ivy League school, Brandeis University down in Waltham, Massachusetts. Yet here I am, 2 years post-grad from high school, with a completely different major and going to a college that I never considered going to. This basketball coach asked me to play in his program, and I told him that I would never go to his school because I wanted to go to bigger and better. Now I know you're all probably thinking, where are you going with this? It has no correlation to a sports banquet. Well, 3 years ago when I tore my ACL, I thought any chance I'd have at a scholarship and the probability of playing at a 4-year college was gone. Little did I know this injury would have opened up so many doors and opportunities I never could have imagined. I was so focused on going to bigger and better schools rather than looking at what was right in front of me. Everything I ever wanted, I got. I got a $60,000 scholarship to a baby Ivy League school. I was going to a school right outside of Boston. I thought it was everything I'd wanted to do. Little did I know when I got there I'd be in disbelief, and it was absolutely nothing I wanted to do in my life. Everything I wanted to do, I didn't anymore. With this being said, I wasn't quite ready to give up on my athletic career, so that coach I told I'd never consider playing for his program, he was the first person I called. Here I am a year later, coming off a season that resulted with my team finishing in 3rd in the NCCS basketball tournament, a Region 3 championship, an All-American honorable mention, a Nationals first team selection, and a Region 3 first team selection. Basketball has given me extraordinary amounts of success, but it was never accompanied without adversity. Regionals and nationals this season were the best memories of my athletic career, but I also had to perform in those games with a torn meniscus I endured during the semifinals of the regionals. Looking back to who I was upon high school graduation, I wish someone would have taken the time to tell me that the flashier and bigger things in life aren't really what they appear to be. All that I've learned about life has came from the game of basketball, as many of you can relate through all the other sports that you've played. Approaching graduation, seniors have an exceptional amount of pressure placed on them, but the moral of the speech is to reflect that sports has taught me how to adapt to new circumstances, regardless of where it's going to take you. Well, the same thing goes for life. You're 18-year-olds, you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life or where you want to live, etc. You shouldn't have to have your life planned out right now in this moment. You don't need to have the answers all figured out just yet. You still have so much time and there is no rush. Every one of you is going to go in a separate path in life, and maybe the first degree you walk away with is a job you're going to love for the rest of your life. But maybe you're going to end up with a 4-year degree that you're never going to use for the job that you end up pursuing. You're allowed to change your mind and try new things. Weigh all your options and give them all at least one consideration. Best of luck to all you soon-to-be graduates, and best of luck to your future endeavors. And thank you, Mr. Trombley and the Booster Club, for having me here to speak tonight.
Thank you, Caleb. And now for the presentation of frames. Is this loud enough? No? Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put this up here. Okay. Emily Boyer. A member of the 2017 Section 7 championship team. 4-year member of the varsity cheerleading team. Was a member of the 2016 and 17 CVAC and Section 7 championship teams and the 2018 Section 7 championship team. Attended state championships in 2016, 2017, and 2018. Was captain and MVP of the team as a senior and was recognized as a CVAC First Team All-Star in 2019. Landon Cologne, 2-year varsity soccer player. Senior year was selected captain, team MVP, and First Team All-Star. 5-year varsity hockey player. Freshman year, selected most improved player. Junior year, sectional champs. Senior year was captain, MVP, and CVAC All-Star team as well. Landon, no wait, I got more. Landon, I got more. Seniors, please stay until I'm finished reading your speech. 4-year varsity baseball player, CVAC champs junior year. Senior year was captain, CVAC All-Star, and sectional champs. Received the White Letter Award his junior and senior year. Abby Dumas, 3-year letter winner in soccer, was member of the 2017 Section 7 championship and member and semi-quarter finalist team. 3-year letter winner in basketball, was a member of the 2017, 18, and 19 CVAC and Section 7 championship teams and 2018 regional championship Final Four basketball team. 3-year letter winner in softball and was part of the 2018 Section 7 finalist team. 1 sport captain as a junior. Grace. I apologize. Grace Dewis. She ran the 800 meter and the 2 mile as a freshman, sophomore and junior on the varsity track team. She played on the junior varsity volleyball team her freshman and sophomore year. Junior year, she began to play varsity volleyball, continued to play this year as a senior. She was chosen to lead the team as a co-captain and was nominated as a first-team All-Star honorable mention. As a sophomore, she played junior varsity basketball and received Most Improved Player. Junior year, she played varsity basketball. That year, her team became the Section 7 champions as well as the regional champions. And that year, she also participated in the state Final Four. Thank you. Olivia Gagno. Olivia became a member of the varsity soccer team in 8th grade and earned her way to becoming the starting sweeper of her team that season. Unfortunately, Olivia faced a major setback with her sophomore year when she tore her ACL in a home game against Saranac Lake. With a long 8 months of recovery, Olivia came back the next season and played her last season with her sister Sierra. The following year, Olivia stayed strong and led her team her junior year to the Section 7 CBAC championship when they beat Beekmantown in the semifinals and beat PHS in the championship game. The defeat against Beekmantown in the semifinal game was a victory that NCCS will never forget after the 2 tough losses against them in the 2015 and 16 in the sectional championships. Olivia worked hard to maintain strength in her knee, but she again faced her second major setback when she retore her ACL her senior year. She finished out the season as team captain. Olivia also was a multi-sport athlete as she made the varsity basketball team in her 8th grade year and the cheerleading squad her junior year. Roland Gay, 4 years cross country, freshman year most improved, junior and senior year MVP, and he was also a 2-year captain. He also had 4 years on track and field, and he was senior captain and MVP of track and field. Carissa was a 2-year letter winner for varsity soccer. She was a member of the 2017 sectional championship team her junior year. Hannah Hemingway, Hannah participated on the varsity volleyball team for 2 years and played varsity softball for 1. She also played 2 years on JV volleyball and JV softball. While playing on the JV softball, she received the Most Improved Player Award. Also, while playing these sports throughout her high school career, she maintained being a scholar athlete and received her varsity letter. Caitlin Hogan, a 3-sport athlete and 4-time letter winner throughout her entire high school career, playing soccer, basketball, and softball. For soccer, she was 2016 Most Improved Player and 2018 Team Captain, as well as being a member of the 2017 Section Champion Team and Regional Contestant. She was also named a 2018 First Team Soccer All-Star and was also 2018 Team MVP. On the basketball court, Caitlin was 2016-17 season MVP and a member of the 2018 League, Sectional, and Regional Championship teams, a team which made it to the state Final Four contest. She was named to the 2017-18 All-Tournament basketball team. For softball, Caitlin was 2016 MVP and team captain, as well as 2019 varsity team captain. Caitlin was a 2018 and 19 white letter recipient. Sydney Hunter. Two-year letter winner in varsity volleyball and softball. Named MVP for volleyball as a junior. Varsity softball captain for 2019 season. Three-year letter winner in varsity basketball, a member of the 2017, 2018, and 2019 Section 7 championship teams and 2018 regional championship team and Final Four team. She was also the winter recipient of the John J. Herbert Memorial Award. Matthew Joliger. Matthew has been on the varsity bowling team for 3 years. He earned Most Improved Bowler in his sophomore year, and in his senior year, his average was 130, and he scored a personal high score of 179. Caleb Lavarch. Caleb was a 2-year letter recipient for varsity soccer, captained his senior year, and was selected as second-team All-Star. He was a 3-year varsity baseball player, CVAC champs his junior year, and selected as Most Improved Player that year. Senior year, he was Section 7 champs and made the CVAC All-Star team. Brayden LaValle. Two-year player of varsity soccer, captain senior year of 2019, member of the sectional final soccer team in 2017. 3-year player of varsity baseball, captain senior year 2019 with an honorable mention in 2017. Member of the CVAC baseball champions of 2018, member of the 2019 CVAC Section 7 Class B champions, and Section 7 championship baseball game MVP. Division I CVAC baseball All-Star as well. Paige Letourneau. One-year letter winner in varsity soccer, was a member of the 2017 Section 7 championship team. 1-year letter winner in varsity cross country, MVP of the girls cross country team. 2-year letter winner in varsity softball, Softball Coaches Award in 2019, and CVAC All-Star Honorable Mention. She was also a Scholar Athlete Award for all seasons of sports. Cody Lyon. Cody had 1 year of cross country, 3 years of hockey, sectional championship his junior year, and 2 years of track and field, and he was a captain his senior year. Mira McManus. Mira has been a starter on the varsity tennis team for 5 years. She has played #1 singles for the last 4 years. In her senior year, she was the 3rd runner for the girls cross country team. Mira was named Most Valuable Player in the girls varsity tennis team this past season. She is also the spring recipient of the John J. Herbert Memorial Award. Ashley Manette. Ashley is a 3-year letter winner in volleyball, was a member of the 2016 Section 7 Class C championship and sub-regional championship team. 2-year letter winner in cheerleading, was a member of the 2015-16 and the 2016-17 CVAC and Section 7 championship teams. She competed at the competitive cheerleading state championships in 2016 and 17, 4-year letter winner in track and field, competed at the Section 7 championship meet and the state qualifying meet in 2016, 17, and 18. A 2-sport captain as a junior and as a senior, a white letter N winner in 3 consecutive varsity sports as a sophomore, 4-year recipient of the Scholar Athlete Award, and also the fall recipient of the John J. Herbert Memorial. Ian O'Donnell. He played JV soccer 9th and 10th grade. He was captain 10th grade and also MVP. He played JV basketball 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. He was a captain of 10th grade as well as MVP. He lettered in varsity soccer in 11th and 12th grade. He lettered in varsity basketball 11th and 12th grade. He lettered in varsity tennis 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And he was the the tennis MVP for 10th and 11th grade. Varsity tennis all-star team for 9th and 11th grade. He was also a varsity tennis state qualifier in 10th and 11th grade. He is a spring recipient of the John J. Herbert Memorial Award. Sabrina Fair. Sabrina played 2 years of varsity volleyball and 6 years of bowling and went to states 4 years in a row. She received a medal for 3rd place at high game at states and most valuable player or bowler 4 years in a row. Katera is a 3-letter athlete who was moved on to varsity volleyball as a sophomore and was a member of the 2016 Section 7 Class C championship team. Her senior year, she was nominated as the second team right side all-star as well as her team's most valuable player. She was asked to be an ambassador and player on America's team that will be traveling to the Dominican Republic in the summer of 2020. Katera was also a member of the 2017-18 CVAC Section 7 Championship cheerleading team and was named an All-Star base for 2018-19 season. Post-graduation, she will be playing volleyball for North Country Community College. Braden Racine. Braden played JV soccer and JV basketball his freshman and sophomore years. He was awarded JV basketball Most Improved Player his freshman year and Most Valuable Player his sophomore year. He began track and field his sophomore and competed through his junior year, placing 7th in long jump at the 2018 Queensberry Invitational. He ran cross country his junior and senior years, leading as a captain his senior year. He played varsity basketball his junior year and senior year. His senior season, he was awarded the All-Academic Award as well as being an All-Star Honorable Mention. He's the winter recipient of the John J. Herbert Memorial Award. And that is it. That concludes. Congratulations to all our senior athletes. May I have Ian O'Donnell come to the podium for a special presentation, please?
Everyone can hear me clearly, that's right. Or a little bit closer. Close. Is this better? Yeah. All right. For the past 35 years, Calvin Castine has been to countless sporting events, school plays, graduations, award ceremonies, school board meetings, as well as other numerous events. He has traveled thousands of miles in the rain, snow, sleet, ice, wind, and extreme heat to capture with his camera many treasured memories that will be cherished for years to come. Calvin has been an important part of our school. His countless hours of community service have not gone unnoticed. It is with my great pleasure that the Yearbook Club has dedicated the 2019 yearbook to Mr. Calvin Castine. We can't thank you enough for all your hard work and dedication.
Wow. Before I announce our the Northeastern Clinton Booster Club Scholarship Award winners, let's give a round of applause to the members of the Booster Club and Athletic Department for putting this on. Well, it's always a very special evening, and without further ado, The 2018-19 Northeastern Clinton Booster Club Scholarship Award winners this year are Sydney Hunter and Ian O'Donnell.
I got a check for you.
So I'm just going to, first of all, echo what Mr. Herrica just said and thank the Booster Club for putting on this evening. This is one of my favorite times of year to come together. It's a really nice evening where we can sit down and have dinner and chat and recognize all of our senior athletes. So another hand of applause for them, please. And also to Kayla Carter, our speaker tonight, for attending and speaking to all of you. So for those of you that do not know, I have been on paternity leave for the past month or so, and in my physics classes I usually take the opportunity of the last couple days to do a little special talk to them as they move on, and I kind of felt cheated a little bit this year that I didn't have that opportunity, and then I'm thinking about what I should talk tonight about, and I said, well, there's nothing better to talk about than what I normally talk to my physics students about, because all of it is applicable to all of you. Juniors, if you're taking physics next year, I know a couple of you are here, I apologize, you'll hear this at the end of next year, but I did slim it down because I shouldn't talk too long, so you guys can get home. I was given this thought to do something like this when I was in college. I came across a YouTube video that was done by a man by the name of Randy Pausch. And Randy Pausch did something that was considered his last lecture. And at the university that he worked at, every single time a college professor was retiring, they would do a last lecture that anyone at the college could attend. And it really wasn't on philosophy or physics or biology. It was just on whatever they wanted. It could have been on physics if they wanted to be on physics. Tonight will not be on physics, so you can kind of let out a sigh of relief there. Randy Pausch had a different situation though, nothing similar to the other people that had done a last lecture. Thankfully, I'm not in the same identical situation as him, but Randy Pausch was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and had months to live. And he was given this opportunity to do a last lecture. He asked the college if he could do it. And I kind of thought it was really cool, and I do this with my physics students, as I said. And Randy Pausch, I learned a very valuable lesson from his entire speech that he did. It's about an hour long, and you may say that's a really long time to listen to someone speak. If you get the chance, look it up, Randy Pausch, last lecture. I guarantee it's going to come up. Listen to it. And his last line of the entire talk that he did, which was based on following your childhood dreams, was, does anyone know why I did this? And most people would sit there thinking, because you want everyone to follow their childhood dreams. But in reality, he said, no, what I'm doing now is something called a head fake. A head fake is indirect learning, meaning you're learning about something else when you think you're learning about one thing. And most people thought, oh, chasing your childhood dreams was what he wanted us to do. And he said, no, it's not that. It's about how to live your life. Trying to follow the things that you always aspire to be and live your life that way. And he said he had a second head fake, and if anyone caught that second head fake, they were allowed to raise their hand and discuss, but no one did. Randy Pausch's second head fake was that was not a last lecture for the people in the lecture hall, it was for his children. He had 3 children. And he knew that he wasn't going to be able to talk to them about chasing their childhood dreams, but he took the opportunity to do it as his last lecture so that one day they could sit down when they were old enough and read it and listen to him and understand what he wanted to have them live their life like. And I'm starting with this as my talk because everything in life has head fakes. And when you are an athlete, it's not all about the game. It's about the other lessons that you'll learn along the way. Either to be a good teammate, how to fill the appropriate shoes on the team. Maybe that is the person that is sitting on the bench that is hoorah, and you may never have seen the court, you've never seen the field, but you were there for a specific reason. Maybe it was to be a good friend, give a listening ear. So in life, please be aware there are plenty of head fakes, and what you don't really see at face value has a lot of intrinsic value later in life. The rest of it is kind of a collection of stuff that I'm going to have stories for some and not stories for other ones. Life is too short to feel embarrassed. My wife always tells me, she doesn't know why I do this, but if I'm driving down the road and someone is mowing the lawn, I wave at them. I don't know if I know them. Maybe I do. I did not know them prior to waving to them, but I'm not embarrassed by it. I think it's a nice gesture, and never feel embarrassed for things that you do. Don't take kind people for granted. I always say this, hold the door for others. And it really just is one thing that I hate walking up to a door and having it slam in front of me when someone walked in. So don't take kind people for granted, and also be a kind person. Don't be afraid of constructive criticism. When someone is riding you, it means that they see potential and want the best for you. It is much worse when they see you do something wrong and ignore it. That means they've given up. Trust yourself, you did it for a reason, and an hour spent with your parents and your grandparents is time well spent. I group those two together, and usually that's an odd grouping, but I'll tell you exactly why it is a good grouping. When I was in college, I had the opportunity to go to Wisconsin to present my physics research at the National Conference of Undergraduate Research. 3 weeks prior, my grandfather became sick, to the point where there was a possibility that he wasn't going to make it. And I spoke to my professor and I said, hey listen, I can't go to Madison, Wisconsin. I get it, I understand this is a great opportunity in my life, but my family means a little bit more to me than going to this presentation. At that point in time, that's all it felt like to me. So I'll reiterate what I'm saying here and then I'll make my point. Trust yourself, you did it for a reason. An hour with grandparents and parents is time well spent. If I was gone to Wisconsin, he would have passed away when I was there. So, it's one thing just to keep in your mind. If someone tells you they can't give you what you deserve, believe them. Be a self-advocate. Respect yourself, and if someone does not do the same, then get rid of them. A true friend will come running at 2 a.m. Everyone else is just an acquaintance. I have stories for that. We cannot in this venue explain those stories. If you'd like to know them later, come on up. Experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted. People always say, make sure you get a job doing what you love. I'm here to tell you that is a lie. It's not the best advice. The right job is the job you love some days, you can tolerate most days, and it still pays the bills. Almost nobody has a job they love every day. Smile at strangers. Just like a yawn, a smile is contagious. If you don't believe me, try it. Be open to new opportunities. Now I think Kayla kind of drove this one home, so I'm not going to say much, but she wasn't at the beginning open to a certain opportunity. That opportunity came back and has made all the difference in her life. Relationships take hard work, and no, I'm just kidding. There's about 7 billion people in the world, and if your relationship is not that great, say you're going out for a slice of pizza and never come back. You only get one chance to notice a new haircut. It is never too late for an apology. You will question yourself and doubt your life. That is good. That means you're open to growth. Do not be afraid that you are not sure where you are going. Communicate your expectations. People cannot read your mind. Bottom line, communicate. Never cancel dinner plans by text message. You at least owe the person that much. Never confuse Facebook, Snapchat, or whatever else you guys use for romance. Stop comparing. If you knew how everyone walked in their shoes for an entire day, you would never say, I wish I had this and I wish I had that. So please stop comparing your life to others. Live in the moment. There are many ways of entering the pool. The stairs is not one of them. My favorite Disney movie, I know some of my tennis players know this because that is my nickname when I was a tennis coach, is Peter Pan. And the Peter Pan thought process for me, which I have things all around my house that kind of say it and remind me, is grow wise, grow strong, but never grow up. So as you go into college, you go into the workforce, whatever you do, don't grow up. Try to stay youthful. Try to do things that make you feel like you're having fun, and never lose that. I feel like if you lose that, then that's when you're going to start getting old. So always, always try to stay young. And for those of you that have been here before, so the coaches and Booster Club, I apologize. I'm always going to finish with the same identical thing because I think this is what drives home almost every single point about high school athletics. And I think this has more meaning to me than it did probably 7 or 4 or 5 years ago when I started this. And some of you it'll have different meanings, but for everyone this is going to have a meaning that I think really will speak to you. It is titled, A Parent Talks to a Child Before the First Game. This is your game, my child. I hope you win. I hope you win for your sake and not mine. Because winning is nice. It's a good feeling. Like the world is yours. But it passes this feeling. But what lasts is what you have learned. And what you learn about is life. That's what sports is all about. Life. The whole thing is played out in an afternoon. The happiness of life, the miseries, the joys, and the heartbreaks. There's no telling what'll turn up. There's no telling whether they'll toss you out in the first 5 minutes or whether you'll stay for the long haul. There's no telling how you'll do. You might be a hero, or you might be absolutely nothing. There's just no telling. Too much depends on chance, on how the ball bounces. I'm not talking about the game, my child. I'm talking about life. But it's life that the game is all about, just as I said. Because every game is life, and life is a game. A serious game. Dead serious. But that's what you do with serious things. You do your best, you take what comes, and you run with it. Winning is fun, sure. But winning is not the point. Wanting to win is the point. Not giving up is the point. Never being satisfied with what you have done is the point. Never letting up is the point, and never letting anyone down is the point. Play to win, sure, but lose like a champion. Because it's not winning that counts. What counts is trying. Thank you for coming here tonight.
All the candy should leave the tables and go home with everybody. And there will be drinks up here to go home as well. Nothing to go back.
Haley?